All right, we're here in my outdoor worm bin, and today we are going to check on our last feeding, and we had two big pieces of Kombucha SCOBY in here that I want to check out. We're also going to kind of go over some critter mitigation strategies and how I've kind of dealt with critters and what kind of critters I've encountered in here. And then finally, we're gonna do kind of a clean out the freezer feeding, and we're also gonna put a bigger chunk of banana plant in here. And as I put my fingers in here, I just feel an absolute spaghetti ball of worms, and look at that. Oh, you know what I did? I put my hands right inside an avocado shell and emptied it. So yep, avocado shells create worm balls like crazy. Let me go ahead and just kind of dig in here since the worms want to come out and play, I think. But oh wow, look at that, just tons of worms. And we did feed some cabbage in there, and they are getting through it pretty well into all the different crevices. And I do see a little bit of mites, but yeah, they're doing well on this. And it's been 7 days since we were in here last. Let's dig around and see if we can find that Kombucha SCOBY. I think this might be it right here. And let's see if they have kind of attacked it. Well, they are doing that. They are all around it, and it's starting to feel a little less leathery because I had dried it out and a little bit more moist. So I think this is the bin that's gonna take care of business with this. So that's one of them. We'll kind of look for the other. And then down in there, we have a bunch of mango seeds and avocado seeds and shells. So as I dig in here, we'll probably find some of those. And wow, look at that. Look at that, just all throughout here. Oh wow, underneath wormball. Let's see what maybe they're after here. Probably some more cabbage, and yep, there's a little piece of cabbage. But just a fantastic little wormball right there. And over here, again, as soon as I put my fingers in, I can feel them. I love it. Look at that. There we go. This looks like maybe a banana peel I've got right here. And oh yeah, look inside. Right inside that banana peel, just absolutely tons of worms making their way in. I must have left a little bit of banana flesh in there because they are just all over the end of it right there. This is such a great bin, and that's something to kind of talk about. This bin is well over a year old, and it has thousands of worms. So you see me feed this like huge amounts of food. So if you just got a brand new bin that only has, 500 to 1,000 worms, you're not gonna be able to feed as big as I do. So just wanna let you know, the biggest problem with worm bins is overfeeding. So don't put the same size feedings I put in if you don't have as many worms. And here's that last cabbage that we had. So again, they're getting all through it, and just a little bit of mites, no big deal, especially for a bin this big. Let's go ahead and talk about some critter mitigation. And I have a video where some critters had gotten into the bin, and I say critters, but I'm not sure, how many. I think it was just one, but let me show you on the outside what they did. All right, hopefully you can see right here. This is the outside bin. This is made out of two fabric pots right here. So I've got a critter hole about the thickness of my finger here, and it ate through both of these fabric pots. And over here is the other one. What I did was I turned the inside one about a quarter turn so they wouldn't be lined up, so there was never any access directly to the bedding after that. When that happened, I did not see a decrease in the worm population. I didn't see any digging around or any kind of indications that whatever caused that caused more issues in my bin. And my thought is that it was probably a mammal. So either a rodent or an armadillo or possibly a raccoon that did that. So that is probably your biggest fear of an outdoor worm bin, is maybe getting some kind of mammal or even a mole coming up from the bottom. The other types of critters that I might get in here is in between these flaps again. Occasionally I'll see a lizard or a skink or a frog just kind of hiding out as these are folded over. And I think that's because they're trying to get away from the sun. So again, those I'm not too worried about either, because perhaps they eat a worm or two, but I've never found them inside this part of the worm bin. And then the last kind of creature I kind of get in here will be some ants. And again, I don't see the ants in here. I see them in between the two bins, and they'll put their little larvae or pupa or eggs in there, and it's just to hide them away. They're not feasting on the worms. So in Florida here, that's kind of the critters I get. But I would think that I would probably get more of these mammal type critters. If you follow AV, he's got an outdoor worm bin very similar to this, and he has it inside a garbage pail. Go ahead and look at his videos, because he had a mole in one and he took some steps that have really helped take care of his worm bin, and he's up further north than I am. But the other reason I think maybe I haven't seen any critters is because we have a very ferocious, adorable wiener hound, and she believes that our yard is hers only, and she will just hunt anything that's her size or smaller. That is kind of what I've experienced in my bin as far as critters. And speaking of critters, check out this wormball that I am pulling up right here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is lots of castings here, but underneath that is just tons of worms. And you've got to think, with them all together like that, they are definitely bumping into each other and starting to make cocoons. So I love this bin. It's just so full of worms. All right, let's go ahead and put this to the side and kind of dig around the rest of the bin. I just found another quasi wormball right here. Oh, there's the other SCOBY. So again, lots of worms all over it. So it looks like they're attacking it, and it too feels like it's rehydrating. Perhaps not on this side, but certainly on this side. All right, so as always, we lay down a layer of shredded cardboard or paper. Actually, I should say and paper. I use mostly shredded cardboard. And then this is the feeding that we have in mind. So right here is all the freezer scraps that I've been saving and just haven't made it to a worm bin yet. And this is the banana stalk. And it's from the flowering banana stalk that was producing bananas and then went through the freeze. But as you can see, this is probably 3 times thicker than the one that we put in a couple videos ago. And that red part is just from the strawberries that were down there. But we're gonna put this in and see how the worms do. All right, so what we've got here is, again, avocado shells, which the worms absolutely love. We've got some bananas, and we've got some strawberries, and some more bananas. Lots of avocado shells, and let's just dump in the rest. All right, there we go. Let's see what else is in here. Now, this was in the freezer, so everything in here has been frozen except for that banana stalk. I did put it in the microwave for a little bit to try and thaw it out. So there we go. We've even got a little bit of citrus in there. So let's go ahead and put all our other amendments that we put on here. And I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of cardboard again. And then I found some expired oats in my pantry, so I've been pulverizing those and putting them on top, kind of like a worm chow. And when you do this, you just wanna kind of coat it lightly, otherwise it could clump up. And then I've got my coffee and tea grounds that I add in as another food source for them that is very tiny, so easy for them to access. And then finally I add some pulverized eggshells because worms use it to grind up their food as they digest through their gizzards. And I also like to have it in my garden, so I have no problem putting lots of pulverized eggshells in here. So let's make sure that we bury this really good so there's some depth to the top so the worms kind of have an area to make sure they're able to access all the food. And as I do that, I want to tell you about the fact that this is my outdoor bin, but I have 2 indoor bins, and I've got separate playlists for them if you're interested in those videos. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you so desire. And you know what? Let's do a little bit of a time lapse with this wormball that's right here. This should be fun. All right, close enough, I guess. I'll go ahead and shove this cabbage underneath. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.